Welcome. This lesson is about parallel lines and a transversal that cuts across them. Right here it says that these two vertical lines, OQ and RT, are parallel. OQ and RT are parallel. Then it has another line, ON, that cuts across them. It's called a transversal. Now, what's nice is if those two lines are parallel, and that's important, they must be parallel, there is actually only two angle measures. This angle here is congruent to this angle here. Those are called vertical angles. And they're also congruent to this angle here and to this angle here because they're vertical angles and they in corresponding spots. They're in the same position when, in as far as the intersection goes. And then the other angle measure would be this one here, which is congruent to this one, and this one here, which is congruent to this one. And again, they're also congruent to these two over here. So then the question just asks a very simple question. It says, the measure of RSP is 131. So RSP, now this is why I had you do the last lesson, is I got to find RSP. That's this angle here. It's that red angle. This red angle here is 131. And if that angle is 131, these two, the red and the blue, must add up to 180 because they form a line. That tells me the blue angle is going to be 49. Now I know every single angle measure in this figure. All the reds are 131, all the blues are 49. So then I just look to see what it's asking me. It wants the measure of QPS. So now I got to find Q, I got to find P, and I got to find S. So I go down and along here. So again, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure you see that I'm going through Q to P and out to S. I'm talking this angle here. Well, that's a red angle. So that's the measure of 131. So I go 131. And all of these are going to be that principle. So for instance, I don't know if you can just visually remember, but what I would recommend doing is label or mark the four smaller ones in one color, the four larger ones in a different color, this angle here, this angle here, this angle here. Find the angle measure of the two angles. So for instance, MNQ is 131. MNQ, that's this red angle here. So this red angle here is 131. This is just like the last one because then that's 49 again. The blue one's 49. And then find out which angle it's actually asking for, RQN. So RQN, it's going to be the red angle because I'm going through R, turn at Q, and go out to N. It's this red angle here, which is a 131 degree angle, 131. Again, as a reiteration, these two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, and we're just finding congruent sides. So the first thing I might even do now is I might just find YXU. So I'm going to find a Y, go to X, and then go out through U. So I know that red angle is 48 degrees. Now let's see what angle they want me to find. They want me to do TUX. TUX. And T comes through here and goes out this way, TUX. That's also a red angle because the red angles are going to be in those positions. The blue angles are going to be the bigger ones, right? So see how they alternate? They alternate red, blue, right? And so it's asking for TUX, which is another red one, so it's going to be 48 degrees. 48 degrees. This will get easier and easier, and you'll be able to see the images a lot faster as you do this. HGE, HGE, that's this big one here, is 128. And now, they want a big angle or a small angle? FGJ. So I come over here and find FGJ. Well, that's another big angle going from F through G to J. So it's another big angle. It's 128. 128. Again, IJG, I'm going to find IJG, IJG. So going from I to J out to G, that's that angle. And they want to know HGJ, HGJ. Oh, I covered J right there. So HGJ, again, that's another big angle, two big angles, it's going to be 140. Now again, I'm not sure if it'd been easier for you to see that it was 140 if I took the time to label the 4 small angles in blue and the 4 larger angles in red, and then realizing that they give us this red angle here and they want that red angle there. Since they're both the same size, it's 140. If you have any questions, again, on how to do this, and it's not going to be any harder than this, just going to continue to do this all the way up to the very end of this section. You know, you just got to mark the 4 angles. The only thing is it looks like the transversal is getting closer and closer to being vertical. But again, I have this smaller red angle, which is congruent to this one, which is congruent to this one, which is congruent to this one. I just kind of walk down. And then I have my blue angles. I have this larger angle, which is congruent to this one, which is congruent to this one, which is congruent to this one. Let's see which one they give me. They give me CDG. CDG, that's this blue angle here. That's going to be 112.6. And then they want HGD. HGD happens to be another blue angle, so another 112.6. Now, if they'd happen to give me a red one, I'd have to minus it from 180. Remember that. The two, the red and the blue, always add up to 180. I haven't been emphasizing that because it seems like they're always asking for the same one that they give. But it doesn't have to be. So be careful and remember that. The blue and the red always add up to 180, the two different size angles.